Riding, because so many teeth gone, riding's done. There's too many teeth on one side gone. It's junk. Bad log, good slab. Got some floor to repair. No surprise, we have those old holes for like toilets and sinks and stuff down there. So I got a bit of, I just cut out the old stuff, and another one over there. So yeah, so I got that, and got this end all cleaned out now, the wall there, and I took off everything on the front. So everything's off on the front here. So she's quite drafty right now. Like today is cool. Like we're well into June, and we're like 2 weeks into June, and it's 7 degrees. It was 5 overnight. So 28 yesterday though. That's good. That's what it's like. Up one day, down the next. So anyway, it's all good. Oh, I just noticed another board I missed. I gotta get that one up now too. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're getting some. Just had Bruce here, and he was helped me with some guidance on how to do our walls and stuff. So I'm gonna need those last four 16-foot 2x6 from the A-frame. That's the last of them. And now they're all used up, and but we got to buy some 2x10 by 16 for a beam up in the ceiling here. So 3 of those. So that'll be a couple $100 probably for that. But anyway, that's pretty good. So that's what we're at right now, trying to get the floor situated, and then we're gonna start putting up some walls. So exciting times, guys. Exciting. This is exciting. I know it's not much right now, but it's exciting to get some improvement going here. I'm really really eager to get going on this. Well, it's been a little while since I've turned the camera on. I've been really busy, of course. I don't need to say that, everybody knows that. But yeah, I've been really busy. So just trying to make some heavy progress, because I know when it gets warmer here in July and August, it's going to be, you know, fishing season and hot days. So anyway, trying to get what I can done now while the weather's, you know, almost perfect. So anyway, so the floor is done, as you saw from the last video, and the floor is all done now. And so then the next thing, of course, is build some walls. So the roof on this place, it's 26 deep, I'll call it. 26 deep. So I don't want to go with all new trusses. There's still a lot of roof here that's still good. I gotta take the shingles off and redo them, of course. But so what we're gonna do is carry on with the, no, first I'll tell you, we're gonna go, we need so in order to carry on with these trusses, I gotta add on to them, of course. That's not, you know, that's not a surprise. So there's gonna be a wall here at the 15-foot mark, and then we're gonna saw off these trusses. I think I might leave them run. Yeah, we're gonna saw them off, because the front half we want some kind of a vault on it, so we want it higher than 8 feet. We haven't figured that out yet. So this wall will go up here, and then we'll saw these trusses off. The existing trusses, we'll saw that front part off. This wall here will come out, because this just don't mean anything right now. It's just holding up the roof. So this one's going to go up and take over to hold the roof up, right? So that's the next order of business here. Yeah, then we'll be able to knock this down, take this half off, and then we're going to go carry on with this side up and meet. Anyways, it's hard for me to explain right now, but I'll yeah, so we're gonna have like a 2-part roof is what we got in mind. We're gonna carry, in order to do that, to support that beam, I need some other things put up in place. So here's the beam, 2x10 by 16. That was the first lumber I had to buy for this place. So they were like $45 each plus tax. So anyways, no big deal, right? But so that was the first bit of lumber I had to buy. You can see here, my lumber, used, and so on. So here's the 2x6 in here. Back here, this wall here, in so far, it's going to be a wall but open at the top. We're using 2x6 at the top for the beam. So that's the last pieces of the A-frame. You know, the A-frame, that was the black A-frame. It's the last pieces of those 16-foot 2x6. So that's what that is there. And then we're going with this 2x16, or sorry, 2x10x16, 3 pieces. And that's going to be over the opening here where the wood stove is, and the living room is open to the hallway, to the back rooms or whatever. Then out in the porch, there's going to be a section, a 6-foot beam. And that's going to support all the trusses, front and rear. Now, last 2 years, this time of year, like, you know, we're into, well into June, we would have been all about sailing. So I'll tell you, we're really missing that right now. We're really missing the sailing. And, you know, we do have a new boat, as you saw. Just no time to work on it right now and get it ready, and no time to do that. I mean, getting a roof over our head is most important. So that's where our focus is right now. Anyway, thanks for following along, and stay tuned. Lots more coming. We've done pretty good, I think. So this is gonna be our porch here. So you saw how all that went well. Got the walls that I had prepared put up, and got the beams up. That's the main thing. So now it should make more sense of what we're doing here. This here, of course, is the bedroom window. That's the hallway coming in, like a mudroom, porch, what do you want to call it, right? Now I can carry on. I think next I'm going to carry on and build this wall here, and then I'm going to stop walls. And yeah, got the beam up. That's good. That's a critical part of the house. So now I got to block these trusses in between here, right over the beam. and then I can cut all these trusses off. First, I'm going to knock down this wall here. I don't need this anymore now. This is not supporting. Once I get the blocks put in up there into trusses, I can knock this down. And then I got that's our kitchen floor out there, and living room over here, right? So I think it's going pretty well. There's a lot accomplished today. It took longer than I thought. Bruce was here for 3 or 4 hours at least. So thanks to Bruce. Great guy to have around for sure. And a lot of this is a two-man job. I do a lot of prep work myself, but I pull him in for the critical stuff, you know, because he's had a full career as a carpenter, so he knows all the ins and outs and tricks and stuff. So anyway, that's where we're at now. Now just to regroup, clean up, reorganize, get some more lumber sawed. So yeah, we're going to go back to the sawmill and saw some more lumber. So stay tuned. Good morning. It's time to saw more logs. As you see, I'm using up lumber pretty quick, so I got to get my ass in gear and get some more lumber going. So it's it's a balance between cutting lumber and using it. So I've just counted. I got about 50 logs used. So that's like quarter of my stockpile of logs. And I'm on like my, I don't know, third blade probably. I had 2 that busted. One I think for sure, maybe both. Wasn't using enough water and they probably got hot and whatever. Regardless, I'm on one here now, and I'm on my second. I've already sharpened it twice, so I want to let you in on a trick that I've discovered. Actually, a friend of mine showed me, and I used it, and it works like a damn. I tell you, don't pay to get your blade sharpened. You're wasting your money. You know how I feel about machines sharpening things. You can do it yourself so much easier and cheaper. I sharpen mine with this, and I don't even take the blade off the machine. Okay, so just think about that. You take the blades off, and you store a couple, 2 of them, then you got to travel to somebody to get them sharpened, and then pay $5, $8, whatever the case may be, to get them sharpened and bring them back and put them on, whatever. Or you do it yourself. You got a machine yourself, and it's like $600 or $700 you paid for it. Right? So just think about that. That's a lot of blades. So I do it with this. Listen, the reality of it is you're only getting 3 to 5 sharpenings probably out of a blade. If you're getting 5, that's about average. So my previous mill I had, that's what I got. I got about 5 sharpenings, and then the blade would just bust anyways, right? So that's all you're going to get out of it. So they're $25. I mean, you think about the amount of lumber that you're making. It's a consumable, right? When you got a mill, gasoline, oil, blades, they're consumable. So don't get too caught up in trying to get every inch of board out of your blade, because it's just not gonna. Every blade's gonna be different, depending on what you're cutting and how it's sharpened and so on, so on. So enough about that. So this is what I use, and this is a flapper wheel on my cordless grinder. Okay, a flapper wheel on my cordless grinder. So now, so here's what I left it the other day, and it's due for a little touch up now. I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes probably. That's about it. I just stop, zing, 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 zing. Right. So I'll show you what I do now. I'm gonna draw it out for you here. I'm gonna use my cover to explain. The bugs we had a lot of rain last night, and now it's really still and warm, and the bugs are out. Anyway, let me see if I can draw this. Okay. So, hopefully I got this turned the right way. Okay. So here's my tooth, okay? There's your tooth. And you got, I don't know, in my case, I'm not sure how many I got there, but this is an 18-inch mill, so I think the blade length is like 130 centimeters, no, 130 inches or something like there. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So when you're cutting, there's really only your tip that, I'm gonna make another one here. Okay, now, so every second blade, you got left and right cuts, right? They're angled. They're cut on an angle, every blade. This works perfectly. And like I said, I get 4 or 5 sharpenings, and then the blade's gonna break anyways, and then off to another one, right? 25 bucks gone. So, so this is what I do. When you sharpen the blade with a machine, you're sharpening the cutting side. This is the cutting side here, right? So you're sharpening this, and the angle's got to be right. One is one way, one is the other, and so on and so on. So what I do is I run my grinder, and this with the flapper wheel, not with a grinding disc, but a flapper wheel, because it's less, it's gentler, it's milder on the blade, right? But it does the job. So I run it over the back. I'll touch the back of the tooth, because when you get this one's sharper over here. So when you get worn down, like this gets rounded, right? This gets rounded when your blade gets blunt. That's what happens, right? This gets rounded. I mean, the cutting is all done at the tip here, basically, right? And then it just starts off, and then it goes, and you know, the cutting gradual. It just takes some off the side. So I don't touch that, because the worn out part, when the blade starts riding up and down, worn out part is the tip. So what I do is I zing the back of it. When you zing the back of it, you're exposing the front, because you're taking material off of here, and then now you're exposing the front. That make any sense? Because it's pointed. So if you take it off on the back, the front automatically it's got to follow right at the very tip. So you make this tip pointier and sharper again by doing that. Zing, zing, zing. And you end up with this. And that's all it is. I'm going to demonstrate here in a second and show you how easy it is. And yeah, I do that. Bang, I'm like I got a new blade on again. So that's how simple it is, okay? You just zing the back of the tooth. By doing that, you expose the front as well. Because, you know, it's a point. So if you zing this off, basically you're doing this, right? You zing this off, you're exposing the front. Now that's exaggerated. I don't take off that much, right? So I think you can figure that out, or understand that. So now let me just show you, demonstrate. Okay. You can see this for this one is joined from factory right here. I don't care where I start, because you see all the sawdust is stuck to the back of the tooth. So that tells me I don't even need to mark it, because when I get around to, because I'm gonna whip some of that off now, right? I'm gonna clean that. When I get around to the cleaned off part, I know I'm gone all the way, full revolution. So hopefully that's a good thing there. So I'm just gonna put a mark here. Random. There you go. That's where I'm gonna start. Now, my safety glasses. If you want safety glasses, I need my little cheaters, and I might need my earplugs, because it's a high pitch. So, okay, you can't very well see very good that way probably. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. So right here's the last one I touched. So this, I got a tooth here that's pretty much broke because it got hit. I'm not sure if that's when the bolt came out and hit it or I struck something, I can't remember. But it was bit, so I just grinded it down because I was getting a line on my wood, a line all the way across. So that tooth broke off. So of course, you can't do the front with the grinder because you won't get the angles right, and then you'll end up with a horrible cut. So, you know, you can't freehand the front, but the back is just straight. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking the back off, which is exposing the front, and this blade now is going to cut. I won't say like a new one because, you know, the new ones are so precise, but this really freshens up the cut. I guarantee you. I've done it now with multiple blades. This is the third cut on this blade now. And like you said, I'm only going to get another 1 or 2 of these, and then the blade's going to break anyways. Right? So these are, you know, disposable. So why not? Save your 5 or 8 or whatever you're paying, or your hundreds of dollars for your sharpener, right? No need. I'm gonna give that a little rub anyways, that little broken one. I can see the tips. I can see the tips shiny where they're rounded, and then once I give them a wipe, bang, they're pointy again. So I know it works, guys. You can be skeptical if you want, and but give it a try. I tell you, you're gonna save some money. There you go, there's my line again. Okay, all done. There you go, you just watch me do the whole blade. I didn't even have to take it off. I saved $8 or I saved whatever, right? So, now that's gonna cut nicely. Like I said, it's not like a brand new blade, right? It's not like brand new, but it is sharper for sure, I guarantee it. So all you guys that are out there, I know a few of you that watch the channel all the time, give it a try. Like I said, just a flapper wheel from Princess Auto. Anyway, it works like a dam. Works like a dam. Like I said, when I had my woodland, the previous, I had 10 blades, and anyways, over all the wood I cut with that, same thing. I was cutting like 8-inch pine boards and so on. You touch that up, man, you just slice through it like crazy. So yeah, so no, it definitely works, and it saves you a pot of money. So it's it's a Bandsaw best kept secret. You don't need that expensive sharpener. I love this remote mic, and it's not a Rode either, guys. It's it works just as good. It's the 7 RMS or whatever. You go back to my reviews and you'll see where I review it. Yeah, anyways, you just saw me sharpen the blade, and yeah, I swear by that method, and it saves me a pot of money, and that's what it's all about. That's why we're doing this. Save some money, and it's fun. So just got everything gassed up. Logs all set up there now. So let's turn on the gas. Choke. First pull, look at that. Well, I gotta say this engine runs good. But it's not very good at all, as you will see. Got quite the twist in it. Anyway, let's go. Earplugs. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, we got some lights in there now, guys. Wow, that's nice and sharp. I gotta say, pat myself on the back for that one. What did he say about a bad log? Slabs. That's right, guys. Great slabs. So yeah, so we're 50 logs into the 200 here now. I think this is number 50 right here. So that's where we're at there. Yeah, what the hell? I'm not getting nothing else out of that. So let's go with that. So you just watch me sharpen that. Look, you're not getting any better than that, guys. Right? You know, it's no. I got one bad tooth in there, I know for sure. But yeah, you're not getting any better than that for a hand sharpener. Maybe you got a method that you use. I don't know. Show me. Tell me. Talk to me in the comments and tell me what you think of that sharpening method. I thought it was the greatest thing when I discovered it. When I started using it, I was like, man, look at that won't work. But man, I tell you, I've saved a pile of money already with it. Now we got a big bin. We got a big horseshoe here. Not a horseshoe, banana. So, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to get anything out of this any good or not. Like I said, this should have been firewood. I don't know what I was thinking. Desperate for long. This is a 10-footer too. Desperate for long timber, right? Long wood. Long 2x4, I guess. Going to need long stuff now for the trusses. So, let's get that out there. Okay. Now. Now this is where I get the chainsaw. Now the log is too thick this way, won't fit through. I only got 6 inches to work with here. So now I gotta cut some of this off so I can get the rest of this log off. That's normal. On a normal log, you don't run into across of that. Okay. Oh, baby. Working at you. There we go. Oh, yeah, Brian, that was a good job. I struck the chainsaw, touched the cover. It took the cover's only plastic. Look at that. Took a piece out of it. Oh, boy. Stupid, stupid, stupid. All right. See how sometimes, well, anyways, like I said, this is a bad log. Now I'm going to try to get a 2x4 off of this before I turn it. Because down here, before I flip it. Yeah. Right. Alrighty. Oh yeah, not bad. It might be good for building trusses or something, right? Let's see here now. Okay. Well, now let's flip it all the way over. So what I like doing now is going right to the bottom. I haven't got to strap the log down. And hopefully I can get through here. I think I can. So we'll go right to the bottom. Dummy, Brian. Freaking dummy. I had the guide up at the very end and I forgot about it. Oh my. I'm always doing something like that. Right. Okay, now I gotta sharpen my blade again. So just imagine if I paid $8 to get that sharpened, I just put it on, I'd be like, oh. I'm gonna take this one off though before I do that. Now that's not a very good 2x4 I got there. Let's see what that's gonna do. Now, I just struck steel with my blade. Oh my god. Oh yeah. I can't even cut that. Okay, so back to the drawing board. Alright. There you go, guys. Things not to do. Yeah, so because that log was so twisted, I had this guide up a little bit and I forgot about it. See that? And a blade come through and chink. Look, zzz, I touched, I bet you, every single tooth. See that? your head's got to be on a swivel when you're doing this. You got to be thinking about everything. But anyways, I forgot. So be it. Okay, so I'm going to, not going to take you through another sharpening. I'll do that and we'll come back after. Okay, that was every bit of 4 minutes probably. I'll tell you now that I ruined that blade. It must have been because of the angle, because I was on this angle and I come underneath. Must have been on an angle. I must have been catching on the edge because, oh yeah, look at this. Oh my God. See all this? Guys? See that? Every one of those, there's a tooth missing. Yep. There's a whole pot of teeth missing out of that blade. So, irregardless of the sharpening, the way it was sharpened, I just ruined that blade because of how I hit that. So, but I'm going to try to finish this log anyways, just for kicks and giggles. But I did sharpen the ones that are remaining. And let's see if I can show you some teeth that are missing. One gone there. Let's see, there's a couple in a row here. Oh yeah, another one there. Another one there. Okay, there's no stops up. Oh, no stops are up. Okay, good. Actually, I'm too far ahead here. I'm supposed to be back here. All right, I'm just going to try to get through that one. Let's just see. Oh, the log is, oh, I don't know what's going on there. I think the blade is riding the log up because of the, yeah, the blade's riding. Because so many teeth gone, it's riding, so it's done. Yeah, I mean, it's sharper for what it was cutting, but now it's not cutting straight. It's not tracking because it's there's too many teeth on one side gone. So anyways, this is junk, which is good. Or, you know, bad log, good slab.